the Oluzun has upper grounds so far as Imo State politics is concerned.
Because of their numerical strength?
Not the numerical strength, but they have the political strength.
Interesting.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Churchy, what is your take with respect to this development in River State? The CLOs and 40 CSOs calling on the police, the IGP, to order withdrawal of the policemen stationed at councils.
Thank you very much. Like everybody knows that it is better to judge matter for 100 years than to bring a crisis that might take souls. What the police is doing right now is to prevent the war that would have shedded so many bloods. So many persons would have died if not for the police taking over the councils. I will say it without no excuse from any man that the IGP has done what I never expected from him. The IGP has rescued River State from bloodsheds. What is happening now, it is what everybody is surprised that police wouldn't have done this. I applaud the IGP, I applaud the entire policemen that has kept themselves sleepless to ensure that what people were expecting in River State has not happened. Now, the persons that is expecting the police to vacate the councils, are they anticipating the war? Are they anticipating that River State should be in crisis? Are they anticipating that houses should be burnt in River State? Are they anticipating that this River State, our own River State, should be declared state of emergency? Because with the pressure I've seen from the right and the left side, I've seen that, yes, that...
What is your take on this?
Well, honestly, I mean, I want to, join in what he said in terms of commending the police for, in a way, maintaining decorum. Because if it hadn't been for the involvement of the police, I am sure that the crisis would have gone above what it got to in terms of violence. There would have been more physical, confrontation than we had. But on the other part, I think as Nigerians, we are misunderstanding our responsibilities as citizens. The day before, I think the public holiday, before when we had that main issue where people went to the council, said they are going to take back the council, I was very irritated. Because I asked myself, take over from who? It's a physical property. It's a public holiday. You're going to take over a public property on a public holiday, first of all. So I felt that had undertoning intentions for crisis, that people had intentions that, were not obvious, but they had other intentions to cause crisis. But my happiness is that it did not happen as, most persons envisaged. So on the part of, resolving or checking whether the police, what the civil agencies are, labor and NLC are saying, I would have expected if before this time, 1 year ago, I had these people come out to, hold the local government chairman accountable for their actions and the things they were doing. I would have said, okay, this is what they are used to. But for me, this call down is a noise. As far as, yes, it's a complete noise, because this thing is simple. We have an institution, we have a rule, we have a constitution that guides our operation as government. It says when the tenure of local government, that's why in part I blame the governor, His Excellency, because as a governor there are rules. I understand people talk about how it has been happening. The fact that it has been happening doesn't make it right. It is unconstitutional, and we all know it. But because before now we had the State House of Assembly in the pocket of the governor, there's no complaint. Nobody challenges it. Mind you, these are the people that are supposed to check and balance the activities of the executive of different arms of government. But because over the years we've had in quote, rubber stamp assembly that works in hand with the governor, that anything the governor says, that is what they agree with. So it's like there's been no check and balance. So the institution that's supposed to check this has been abused. The governor, rightly, for me, is the #1 culprit for the crisis in this state as it concerns the local government. Because if the elections were conducted, even if not conducted, but commit research to initiate the process. I'm not sure that first of all, the Martin Amelo-led assembly would have even initiated the act of extending the tenure of the local government chairman. But the government failed in its constitutional responsibility to do that. That enabled the crisis to start. So for now, at this point where we have this, what the police is doing is just, for me, is the best thing for peace to reign in this state. The governor has gone ahead with his actions of, appointing CTC. The outgoing chairman has said they are still there. So for me, the bulk of the road now falls in the judiciary to come out straightforward and give a ruling. I mean, coming here, I listened to where people talked about, a judgment, and I seem to get this confusion. We should have clear understanding of what an order and a judgment. From my own experience, I know there's a difference between an order and a judgment. And I know that for that case, a judgment was not given. It was an order that was given. And I understand the application of a ruling, a judgment, and an order. There are different applications. But our judiciary needs to step up their game and understand that at this point, our democracy needs the urgency and sincerity of the judiciary to come out and give clear statement so that there will be no ambiguous interpretation. Everybody is interpreting as it favors them. So for me, the CLOs and the 40 CLOs coming, they should just relax. Because the police is doing what, any reasonable,
what they
are supposed to do.
Safeguard lives and property. Now, Enche, you have talked on several issues. You talked about the interests or the motive behind these CLOs and CSOs, NLC and TUC, as the case may be, and you also looked at what judiciary has done so far in face of the crisis. But let's talk on NLC. Let's dwell on NLC and TUC a bit before we look at the judiciary. If you recall, NLC and TUC have been clear about their stance with regards to supporting the governor from day one, particularly when the governor paid the 100,000 naira Christmas bonus to civil servants. That, it's endeared the governor to the hearts of civil servants in Rivers State, and also endeared him to NLC and TUC. Now, moving forward, during the May Day celebration, the governor also gave the organized labor approximately 100 million naira, and that further endeared him to them, as the case may be. Now, regardless of how the governor has been loving and quite attentive to the plight of civil servants, and by extension, also the NLC and TUC in Rivers State chapter have benefited from their support of the governor. Is it right for NLC to actually be involved in politics? Because whatever is going on is clearly political. You can't take that away. It's purely political. Now, the council that has been shut down and taken over for now by the police, and their reasons were clear to safeguard the property and also the lives of people. The civil servants not going to work, the council civil servants not going to work. Has the governor at any point in time come out to say, if these people do not go to work, they will not be paid? Because, that is where NLC can start agitating, and Rivers people will be like, okay, this is for the welfare of civil servants. Were civil servants at any point reported to be part of the people who were killed in this crisis? We've not gotten that information yet. Now, the civil servants not going to work as a result of police barricading the council has not in any way impeded the process, right? And so far, not even going there because police has barricaded, to a large extent, has quelled the crisis and lives have not been lost. One would wonder, what is the agitation about? If you recall, prior to this time, the council chairmen across the local government did not implement the wage awards. And at no point in time did NLC or TUC in Rivers State come out to scream. Even the NULG, the union in charge of local government employees, never came out to cry out and call the attention of TUC or NLC. At no point has these unions come out to speak against their people, the civil servants, not receiving wage awards and the wage awards not being implemented. These are the foremost concerns of NLC and TUC in Rivers State chapter. That has not been done, and suddenly they are giving ultimatum for council chairman to vacate on the ground that the civil servants are not going to work.
You know, you've actually said a lot of, you know, important things. And to add to those important things, I want to ask, because I might not have that, are you aware that of the implementation of the 30,000 minimum wage in Rivers State by the Rivers State government?
The governor?
Yes.
Insisted that...
Like, has it been done in Rivers State?
Well, the governor is paying the council.
No, I'm saying I'm
the
saying the Rivers State civil servant. Are we collecting 30,000 minimum wage?
Yeah, well, I'm not in the...
yes, I also don't... Yes.
They recently, I think, when the governor started paying himself.
Before all of this crisis, you know, ensued, just like you mentioned, we had the wage implementation. We have the most local government, you know, activities, you know, being very mediocre. Just like you mentioned, I don't think I saw at any point where Norgay or any of these guys, you know, came out to protest that this thing is not being implemented, this is not being done, this is not being done. However, the responsibility of the union or union of this sort is to project the interest of the collective workers or the people in the union. And I don't think you and I agree that they've not done that effectively. So if to them this is the best way they can project, you know, protecting the interests of the staff, just like you mentioned, something that has, you know, prevented crisis from happening, destruction from happening, how is that something you should protest against? If there's a protest, shouldn't it be that the state government should conduct an election so that they can have a working government? Shouldn't that be what shouldn't that be what the union should be protesting, you know, for? You know, so you see, because of interest, and of course, this is how we operate in our economy, where the people that are supposed to hold the government accountable, when they get something that interests them, it favors them, they go against that. So you're not holding the government accountable as you should. Rather, you're trying to enable some of the actions of the government. Now, the reason for the union, for me, should have been a proper working system of the local government, which is not being done. If a caretaker committee is there, and from what I heard, some of the workers are also part of the committee, even though unconfirmed, I can't, you know, categorically confirm that, but I heard that. So my question is, does it ensure for smooth running of these LGAs when you don't have a properly elected council committee? I don't think that is the case. So for me, I think there's a misplaced priority of what should be and what the people fighting, in quote, for the people, you know, should do. Whatever they are doing should be sincere and genuine. You're not fighting for your interest, but for the interest. But I don't see that happening. Unfortunately, what I see is hypocrites coming out, as long as it's going to favor them or they have something to benefit, they come out and scream. And that is not going to ensure we have, you know, government being held accountable. For me, one of the major cries that I spoke to somebody in my local government, we were talking, and he was seriously emphasizing on how local government chairmen should go. And I say, I agree with you that they should go. I told him, do you know that it will benefit the local people more if an election is held than what is happening? He kept quiet. I said, no, but look at it. How does this benefit you, we as a people? You know, this is one man's decision. This is the governor's decision. But if an election is held, no matter how influential it's going to be, it's going to enable the people select and project people from the local communities, from the general interest of the people. So whatever the governor is doing, with all due respect to him, is not what will interest the people most. Yes, it's going to favor his government in trying to regulate and control local government agency, but to the people, it is not the maximum benefit. They are not going to get maximum benefit from some of the actions that is being taken place. So be it Norgay or whoever is coming out to protest, I think people should be sincere in doing all of this. While I mean they have the right to protest, you know, whatever they want to protest, they should also ensure that they endeavor to do other aspects of their, you know, activities that would favor the people in general terms, not just a few individuals because of whatever thing you think you are going to get.
All right. Honorable Churchill, you wanted to say something?
Yes. First of all, I want to not done the right things that he's supposed to do constitutionally. That is what has ignited the fight or the problem in Rivers State in the aspect of initiating and conducting the local government elections. Let me also go to the area where the governor has taken laws into his hands. I was waiting for even the concocted 3 members of the most minority that call themselves as of assembly member that is using to do the wrong things in Rivers State, to have advised him in the aspect of taking laws into his hand, paying the local government his office. It is very, very wrong.
Did he pay the wage award?
He paid, no, he didn't even pay the wage award. When I mean, he was paying the local government council
One
workers.
of the reasons was that he instructed the local government chairman to implement the wage awards.
But that does
and
not
they declined.
but that does not give him.
That now I want to know.
If he paid the wage award.
Has he been paying the wage award?
First of all, I am not a local government council worker. But me, I am talking based on my understanding in the law.
Why would the local government chairman
Now,
disregard the order of the governor to pay wage award that has been implemented?
that is the aspect where the governor at the end of the day would have constituted a committee, a panel of inquiry to fix with the local government chairman.
Okay.
Not paying the
Not to
local
take
government
over
staff
the jobs of
the local government chairman.
All right.
He was doing it on his own, believing that he's doing the right thing. But we all know that he was doing the wrong thing.
All right.
And I know too well that for the state civil servant, it's not the governor that start paying the wage awards from this to the state civil servants. He's the former governor, not a council worker.
We are not talking about this. The
Now,
conversation is around
the council workers will be there to testify if they paid him the wage award. But
Right.
my own is that the governor taking over the duties of the local government chairman, paying the local government workers from his office was totally wrong.
Okay.
And we know that it is an aspect that everybody, tomorrow it will come out and some persons will say whatever they know. But let us understand that during the period that he was paying the local government staffs, that this local government chairman, their tenure was not in contention.
Okay.
Their tenure was still remaining. And he refused even to pay them their security votes, which was very, very wrong. So me, I am of the opinion that if the governor wants this state to be the way the state is supposed to be, he should forget about this caretaker and initiate plans for local government
But
election.
aren't you contradicting yourself, Honorable Churchill? When you started speaking earlier on this topic, you said that the governor is a peace-loving man. That he is.
Yes, the advisors.
Hold on. We're not talking about the advisors. We're talking about the governor. You said he's a peace-loving man. He's a man that pursues peace, and he has done everything to ensure peace. You said that yourself.
Okay, let me come to what I said.
Down the line, you have now started painting the governor as a man who has usurped power, a man who has abused powers using his office, and who is taking decisions that is very dangerous.
Okay, let me come to what I said earlier. Let me come to what I said earlier, if you understood me very well. I said the governor in its person is a peace-loving person. But the persons around him, his advisors, which I declared and I called them the Orina crisis.
Are you saying the governor cannot take a decision as the chief executive officer of the
That
state?
is what he's telling the state now. Because when he was nominated as a governorship candidate of the party, of my party, he was not as this loving person. And everybody accepted him even after the swearing in that he was a peace-loving person. But because the persons around him has come around him, he started doing things the abnormal way. Yes, that is the truth. He started doing things the abnormal way. So he should be re-advised. He should be re-advised. In short, he should take the advice I am giving to him from here now. That he should shut down he should shut down his sword and come back to his senses to allow the local government election be conducted.
The governor is not out of his senses. You cannot
No,
tell
no,
the
no,
governor.
no, I did not say he's out of his senses.
No, you said he should come back to his senses. Where went his senses? Can you take that back, please?
You are coming with this again.
Yes, that's
See,
a
let me tell you.
statement.
No, okay, I did not say he's not with his senses.
You're talking about his excellency.
What I am telling you, yes, he's the governor of the state. He's our governor.
He never took leave of his senses, by the way. You agree with me, right?
But even a philosopher told me that in every 24 hours of the day, that a normal human being could be out of his senses for at least 5 minutes.
All right. At this point, Victor, please, what do you have to say?
Well, you know, I understand, you know, certain actions of the governor, you know, in terms of running governance. There are different approaches you apply. You know, like for instance, the formation of the CTC. You know that if the government of the day is insisting that the tenure of the local government, you know, has expired, and you know that the legality of the assembly members, the Martins is still in contention, and of course, you know, nature abhors, you know, vacuum, and the governor cannot run a government without a council. So I can understand his decision to, however legal or illegal. That's why I first of all called on the judiciary to ensure that they come out in plain language and with all sense of urgency to speak and interpret whatever they need to, the laws that are guiding these people, so that there will be no ambiguity. Because currently what is happening is, you know, with all due respect to the judiciary, enabled by the non-proactiveness of the judiciary.
Would you say the judiciary, by their actions and inactions, have, you know, fueled the crisis in Rivers State?
Oh, yes. I mean, with all due respect, I mean, I'm not saying that is their original intention, but by implication, their decisions and their actions, this is what it implies. And I'm speaking, this is a public opinion now for the judiciary to take note that this is what the public, this is what we're seeing. This is what the reaction that is coming out from their actions. And the responsibility is on them to ensure that laws are interpreted properly to avoid ambiguity. Why do people go to court? Why would I go to court and I come back with more confusion? They tell something is off. I'm going to court for you to interpret, and I expect that you've gone to study, you know, the issues of constitution, and you have a clearer way of explaining to me the implications of things in the constitution. So for me, while I understand the actions of the governor, and I hope that however illegal or legal, that whoever is both former and current CTC or former chairman should understand that the interest of the state is most important. Whatever they are doing today, you know, if the law finally, we still have a case in court and the court declares either way, we're still going to be faced with consequences. So for me, both parties should ensure that decorum is maintained, one. And the governor should understand that he's the father of the state, that any action he takes has a ripple effect on every sector of the economy, every sector of the people, every facet of the society. So whatever blame we're giving to everybody, the first person we're going to give to is the governor himself. So whatever is happening in local government is happening in the assembly, the governor is and should be the first person to be mentioned, because his actions is what is, you know, driving the activities of the state.
All right. Ahead of the upcoming People's Democratic Party Congress in Ekiti State, some party leaders are opposing former Governor Ayodele Fayoshe's attempts to control the party structure. At a meeting in Ado-Ekiti, former PDP chairman Boyega Oguntuase accused Fayoshe of being a mole for the ruling All Progressive Congress and of betraying the PDP. He emphasized the need to prevent Fayoshe from taking over the party again. Oguntuase announced that the party leaders have unanimously endorsed Funsho Ayeni, the 2023 PDP senatorial candidate for Ekiti North, for the state chairmanship position. The meeting aimed to strategize on protecting the PDP from sabotage and ensuring the election of a chairman who prioritizes the party's interests. Ayeni, responding to his endorsement, promised to unite the party and to strengthen it for the 2026 governorship election. He urged the PDP National Working Committee to be cautious of Fayoshe's actions and highlighted the inconsistency of Fayoshe's support for the APC while calling for PDP unity. Let me start with you, Honorable Churchill. You're a politician.
Yeah.
Can you throw more light on this conundrum that PDP is facing right now in Ekiti State?
You know, Ekiti State is a state where before this time was a very strong state, so far as PDP is concerned. After the party stewards went to elect the governor. But with what is happening in Ekiti State now, the former party chairman, like I used to tell people that politics is a game of personal interests. Fayose has his own interests. The former party chairman has his own interests. The elected chairman has his own interests. But in every downturn, what is the most important thing is the party interests. And that is more superior to every person's interest when it comes to politics. Your personal interest is different from the party interest. But as it's come to this game now, the most important thing is the party interest. Fayose, like the party stewards before this time, even in the National Working Committee, they will tell you that Fayose is an inconsistent person when it comes to belief in the system of the party. So when they say that he is supporting the APC,
while calling for the
unity of PDP, it's not too late for PDP to come back as a party to fixing things together. But he knows too well, Fayose knows too well where the problem started. You know, it's just like what happened in Edo State when the deputy governor,
Philip
Shaibu, a former governor, was suspended by the party and removed as he was impeached.
He was impeached.
He was impeached. But before the impeachment, it was the stewards that agreed that he should be impeached. But at this particular time, Fayose is, you can hear when someone, the former chairman was saying, Udeni, you know, these are their names, was saying that he would not allow him own back the state, own back the party as he owned it before, believing that he was in charge of the party. Really, Fayose has paid his dues so far as the party is concerned. But when it comes to consistency in your belief, Fayose is scared of what will be the outcome of the result when it comes to this election.
So he doesn't want to lose both sides.
He doesn't.
So if PDP loses, he still stands to benefit with the
and
APC.
if the APC,
he can still fall back to his
he
party,
come back
the
to his
PDP.
party.
Interesting.
So that is the major game he is trying to play. And they have seen it from the other side. They've understood the game he's playing. That is the reason why they don't want it to look as if he is not part of the game. But they don't want him to be the person in the front of the game.
You don't want him to be in charge of the
charge. So when he's in charge, he can, at the middle, allow his will to rule the party system. And at that particular time, it will affect the whole persons on this other side. So the persons in the PDP, both the current chairman, me on my own, if it's an advice, they should allow the current chairman to take over the party system. Since he has so many supporters that are stewards by his side, they will assist him now to build the party. Then Fayose should support them financially. But yes, he should support them financially to build the system.
Honorable Churchill, when you say Fayose should support them financially, on this same program, Honorable Churchill, you said...
I said in Edo State.
No, generally in Nigerian politics, Honorable Churchill. You are preempting me because you don't even know what I'm saying.
I understand the side you are going to.
No. You
said, are you telling me on the side of Edo State? Where I talked about the...
Not on the side of Edo State.
Okay.
Both state and at the national level.
Yeah.
You said, let me remind you of what you said. that the person with the deepest pockets is the leader of the party. The leader of the party calls the shots, doesn't he? So when you say...
Okay, now you are informing me.
No, you said so. When you say in Ekiti State that
Fayose should support them financially.
should support them financially, while someone else leads the party.
No, I did not say any person should lead the party.
You said they should allow the
to be in charge. To be in charge.
And
what I mean being in charge?
will not be in charge, but he will be financing what he's not in charge of.
You are just misunderstanding.
Make it make sense to me.
Okay, now. Fayose is the governor of the state. Is that not? No. The party chairman has been elected to be the party chairman. And we know, even if you close your eyes, some stewards in Ekiti State are still looking at Fayose in the other way around of playing the games like this. Wherever it falls, I am there. You understand? Now, if you allow him to be here, he cannot play the game clearly the way he wishes to play it. Me, I'm of the opinion that the party chairman, like what the party chairman has said, they should allow the party chairman be in charge, reconcile the party, and Fayose, as the governor of the state that has the flag of the party, should give them whatsoever support they want, mostly financially.
So, by the way, the governor of Ekiti State is Oyebanji.
Oyebanji, sorry.
Now, moving on, that negates your earlier statements that the major financier of the state is the leader of the party in the state.
You are just trying
because if I recall, you made that statement with regards to Tinubu being the president, Tinubu being the leader of the party at the national level. And then there was an argument ongoing in River State about who is the leader
where
of
I
the
told
party.
you
And
that
you said it was the FCT minister that is the leader of the party.
because of his contributions.
As against the governor and all of that. And moving forward, you cited other states as example that the person with the deepest pocket is the leader of the state.
The person that pays much price.
However, in the case of Ekiti State,
Fayose has
now you're bringing up a very different opinion as against what you used to say. Probably because you are a PDP member. This is PDP right now, and the issues around Fayose. So I needed to remind you.
What we want is how we. I told you that PDP
what you're looking at is strategizing
to win the Ekiti State election.
Okay, moving forward. Mr. Victor Nietzsche, what is your take?
Well, I mean, it's pure politics. I mean, like everybody says it's a game of interest, personal interest, if you may. And I mean, I don't see how this fight they are having now is not new. Currently, everybody wants to get hold of power, control Ekiti State. You're saying Fayose should not be given an opportunity. He's a mole, and I'm sure we all know the reasons they are saying that. I mean, recently he's been in very friendly, relationship with not just the presidency, but the people around the presidency. Being seen around the local state governor, your state, and all of that. And most importantly, I mean, his relationship with Wike that we all know, and the same thing that is happening although not in the same terms, but the same thing that's happening in Ekiti State is what is happening in River State. A fight for the soul of the party. Because if you are going to run an election, you need the party. If you don't have the party, you cannot. Yes. But I mean, for River State, fortunately for us, there's no election in the immediate future. So there's a bit of calm. But I bet you the soul of the party is what everybody is targeting.
Looking for.
Because without that, you cannot win an election. And I understand how everybody is scared of Fayose. Remember, Fayose had, honestly, has paid sacrifice. At a point in Nigeria, Fayose and Wike, then Governor Wike, were the only prominent PDP people that were. They held the party together, and their voices were heard. Fayose was not scared. I mean, he was very vocal, about his opposition in this country. So you can excuse him if he feels he has paid certain amount of price to still be in control. Before he left, he also had an issue leaving as governor. Where I mean, remember when he talked about how Wike saved him from being embarrassed and all of that. So for me, it's a fight for the soul of the party that is a vehicle. So you cannot even say he's a mole or not a mole. And there's one thing I like about what is happening in the country, and I respect Wike for that. You know, the fact that your political party affiliation has not limited you from contributing to national productivity. For me, it's a plus. I mean, most persons might, out of sentiment, might not see it like that. You know, but for me, it's a very good pointer to let our, not just the politicians, but the followers know that it doesn't really matter the party you're supporting. Once there's a government, that's why tomorrow I still say it. I want Governor Simfobara to succeed. I pray and I wish for him to succeed, and I will support, you know, and play my constitutional role of supporting, yes, as a citizen, whatever I can to ensure the governor succeed. But that doesn't still mean that when things are going wrong, you keep quiet, or when leaders are taking the wrong decisions, you still hear them and praise them. So for me, the fight for the soul of the party of the PDP in Ekiti State, it is very important, because if we don't have an opposition, then the government will just be relaxed. And that is one of the major fights I have with what is happening in Rivers State, where it seems that being an opposition is an aberration, it's a crime. The government is supposed to be united. That is not how
the one-party system, kind of.
Government should work where the opposition is strong, whereas the ruling party is strong. But there's checks and balances. So for me, I just find trying to fight his fight. I think he should fight it. This has been coming frequently. I'm sure that because of the closeness of the election, everybody wants to ensure I am the one.
But then, Mr. Victor, when you look at it critically, isn't this a clear pointer to a transition? There seems to be a transition in the politics in Nigeria, where it is no longer about party right now, but about the candidates, the interest of the person. In the sense that one might be in PDP. Let me use the Obedience, for example. Obedience are in Labour Party, correct? No. Because in Labour Party. Now, in Edo State, for example, they are at variance with the candidates Apata of Edo State. And they came out to say that they do not support Apata, that they have concerns around the
type of candidate,
of how he emerged. They questioned the procedures involved in the emergence of Apata. And they now said that they believe more in the candidature of the APC. And for that reason, they are going to support APC, even though they are in Labour Party, but they have thrown their weight behind APC. And you see this playing out even in the last presidential elections. People belong to a particular party.
Yeah, we're supporting.
But they supported different candidates. A lot of people in APC and PDP and the ADC and other parties, as the case may be, rallied around the Labour Party presidential candidate, P2P. Some persons in APC and some persons in Labour Party and PDP also rallied around President Bola Tinubu. Some persons also were supporting Atiku across party lines. So there seems 2023 elections appeared to introduce a transition in Nigerian political ecosystem, and that may be what the states are grappling with right now, because now it's trickling down to the states where people will belong to a particular party, and when they are not interested in the particular candidate their party is flaunting, and they have more interest, or they believe that this other candidate, the other party, may do better, they throw their weight behind him openly. Before, these things were seen as anti-party activities, and then it's done in secret. But now it's being done openly, canvassing support openly. What do you have to say to that?
I think...
Is it that Nigerians or Nigerian politicians, particularly the upcoming ones, are beginning to understand the importance of their own belief and ideology as against what the party might want to impose on them?
If you use that word "beginning to," I agree with that, because we're not yet there. But I also do not believe it's a transition. I don't think we're transitioning.
You think we are evolving?
No, we're still where we are. But I think what is happening is that there's more awareness. You said something. You said they were transitioning from when, people have, were fixated on being a particular party member and all of that. But that's not what is happening. Is that people are more aware of what is happening. Political parties in Nigeria do not have ideology. I mean, that's a fact. So that's why you can have a politician in PDP supporting somebody in APC. I mean, we had in Rivers State where we had rumors that the former governor and minister, Chibika Amechi, was in support of the PDP's presidential candidate. It was not an ideology thing. It was a personal ideology thing, not a party ideology. Because our parties, rather what is happening is that the politicians have seen that in protecting their interests, people are getting more aware. And I mean, thanks to the obedient movement and the participation of Peter Obi in the last secretary election, what it did is expose people that, look, the leaders being in charge of political parties do not necessarily need to dictate who you support and elect as your leaders. So what it means is that you can be a member of the PDP, like it happened in Rivers State, and still vote and support a party in a candidate in another party because you believe that this person has your interest. So you don't even need to leave your party. When it comes to an election, as long as your party has not presented an ideal or an ideal candidate, what you do is look for the ideal candidate and support the ideal candidate. If the candidate wins,
doesn't that trump, because that's a politician seated across from you, doesn't that trump the mantra, party is supreme? Honorable Churchill, doesn't that...
No, I think it encourages. I think what it does, it is going to push the parties now to actually create an ideology. What it will mean is that when PDP wants to bring out a candidate, they would want to ensure that irrespective of the interest, irrespective of their personal interest, let it be a candidate that fits a particular description of leadership that is needed at that point in time. So I think this would only encourage political parties to, buy in an idea of, this is what we want. Remember, I think one of the beautiful example is what they did with former President Buhari. Because of how there was a lot of crisis, instability in the nation during when Jonathan was, president. So what they did, they showed an idea that we have an agenda as a party, and our agenda is hope. That was one thing, and Nigerians bought into it. A lot of Nigerians bought into it because they felt there's an agenda. This party has come up with an agenda. What APC is for hope, is for change. Change you can see. They saw the idea that there's an ideology. Using the weakness of yes. And people bought into it. And the reason people bought into it was because it seemed like, wow, a party with an ideology, finally. That's the reason. And you remember, I mean, when Amechi, left the PDP, now, the people that left PDP in Rivers State also came to the APC with an ideology. And I can tell you for a fact that most of the persons that went to APC did not go because of personal interest. Most of them went with an idea of, look, I now belong to a party that is going to change things. That was the initial understanding of the party, not knowing that it was just a market that they were selling. So for me, it's a good thing because it's going to ensure that these politicians and these political parties understand the importance of having an ideology or an ideal candidate to, push whoever is going to represent the people in different leadership positions.
All right, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at Kano State and the interesting twist of events in the Emaship tussle. Do not go away.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on a point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank.
She said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank.
She said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank.
She said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Kano State government has allocated 99.9 million naira for the renovation of the Nasarawa Mini Palace, occupied by the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, following a government directive for his eviction and the palace demolition and renovation. This allocation is part of a broader 8.6 billion naira budget for various state projects, including healthcare, education, water supply, and agriculture. Key allocations include 770.9 million naira for a post-midwifery institute, 165 million naira for essential drugs and maternal health, 5 billion naira for agricultural productivity, 81.6 million naira for a sickle cell unit at Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital, 64.8 million naira for the Infectious Diseases Hospital. The group War Against Injustice criticized the palace renovation funding as a misallocation of resources, urging the government to prioritize projects benefiting the common populace over elites' interest. Now, let me start with you, Mr. Victor. When the group says over elites' interest, is it over the interest of the elites or over the interest of the governor and probably the politics as the case may be? Now, allocating 99.9 million naira for renovation of a mini palace. Now, if you recall, when this issue erupted, when Sanusi was reinstated, the deposed emir, being Aminu Bayero, went to live at the mini palace, the Nasarawa mini palace. And now the government wants him out of that palace. And he has refused to leave. So they now said they want to renovate and they want to demolish and renovate part of the palace, not the palace entirely, but part of the palace, and they are allocating 99.9 million. Now, is it a case of witch hunting now? Since you don't want to leave, okay, we'll demolish the place and probably renovate or not renovate, as the case may be. And again, is it misappropriation of funds in this case, or not prioritizing the needs of the people, channeling monies that should actually go into real concerns of the people, into political brigandage?
No, unfortunately, you know, what I'm supposed to say black, but I can't say black because I'm saying gray.
All right.
Yes, it's misplaced priority because renovating the palace with almost 100 million, which is the second highest for the money, the 99 billion or whatever. They can't get the figure that they say they are going to spend in the budget. 99 million naira. What was allocated to agriculture is the only thing that trumps the renovation of a mini palace. The midwifery and the other sickle cell project, yes.
That's higher, 770.9 million. Then essential drugs and maternal health, 165 million naira.
So,
but agricultural productivity, 65 billion. Now, when you look at that, we still have schools.
That's what I'm saying.
There are a lot of projects.
No, but why I said I'm saying grey is this. I mean, I could easily say no, it's misplaced priority. It is, but unfortunately, for the people, religion is now a major focus. It's now a major tool, a major influence. So what is not supposed to be is what is. And the government understands that to control the people, control the religion. If you want to control the people, control what they believe, control how they believe, and control where they go to get their belief. And then you control the people. Even when they know that, you know, the right things should be done, but to them, what is most important is their belief, their faith. So the government moving according to the priorities set by the people, or what influences the people most, is the gray areas I'm talking about. So unfortunately, the people themselves have provided an avenue for easy control or manipulation. And that is what the government is saying. Okay, why is sudden so much interest in the emirship? Well, okay, the case is in court, but you see both parties taking actions and inaction. You have the interest from, in quotes, the state party chairman, national party chairman of the APC, we know have an interest. Yes, by extension, the federal government. You have the state governor, Kwankwan, so having their own interest. So it's like, for them, that society, and you see the response of the people.
Probably because the traditional stool there, the emirs are seen as demigods. The traditional stool there controls majority of the masses. So when you have the traditional stool, when the traditional stool pays allegiance to you as a governor, then the possibility of galvanizing for elections has been reduced. No, the stress of campaigning to capture the hearts of the people.
Yes. The simple explanation is that in the north, majority of their culture is tied to the religion. So if you control the religion, you control them.
The people.
Because their interests, their culture, their beliefs is tied to their religion. So what it means is that if an imam, comes out and gives a word, he controls majority of the crowd. Unlike, down in the south where they have Christianity, where you have different churches and their different opinions.
So many.
Yes, so they know that their interests, whoever controls the religion should be in their part, and if it's with them, then you have an advantage. So that is why the emphasis and prioritizing that sector. However unfortunate, that is the reality in that sector. And except the people have a shift of mindset, and you and I know that the possibility of that happening is a very, not 50, it's a 70-30.
All right. Well, quickly, Mr. Honorable Churchill, what is your take?
Yeah, first of all, I will lay the blame of everything to the court. I've said it here before this time that the court is not really consistent in handling issues that are to be the most priority issues within the state and the country. Now, issues of this nature that is in the court, this court a court of the same coordinated jurisdiction, this one will give injunction, this one will vacate the injunction, this one tomorrow give an injunction. It's very, very wrong. And again, for government to come into this particular issue, coming to renovate and even allocate fund for renovation of this palace, the mini palace, to me, it is completely misappropriation of funds. It is not proper when you know too well that this matter is still in court. We should also look at the other areas where funds has been allocated to. Nobody will speak negative